What's going on, gamers? Welcome back to another fantastic episode of the All4Gamerz Podcast, episode 21 to be exact. I am joined with, as always, the best red-bearded bomb guys I know. Unfortunately, Ryan's not able to join us today. He's feeling a little ill. He has to take care of some things. I don't know what's going on with him, to be honest with you. But the two best red-bearded guys I know, Eric and Matt, say what's up, boys.
What's up, boys?
Close enough, Matt.
What?
Say hey.
Hi.
This is great. We're getting off to a great start here. So, I have a few things that we wanted to talk about. We actually kind of started talking about one of them. And so, for those who might be religious out there, this may be for you. So, have you ever found that you don't have enough time to, get off your butt and go to church or go to the synagogue and pray to God? Well, if you have, then that's actually going to be right up your alley. So apparently there is a Christian pastor who started doing, and I kid you not, so this is like, some groundbreaking things that could lead to it. It's also, I don't know, it's interesting. So there's a VR chat where there's a Christian pastor who's, from what I'm getting from Polygon of all sources. So he's looking to redefine what faith looks like. So there was, the story goes is that there was this poor girl. She's wheelchair bound and she was trying to get baptized. She goes up to one priest and tries to get a baptism. And the guy tells her that he can't baptize her because she's in a wheelchair, which means that she doesn't have enough faith in God.
Boom.
That's
got her.
Like, what? Huh? I don't get it. How is that? Like, dude, you're
got
a
him.
priest. You're not supposed to be an asshole.
Roasted.
Ciao. So the rest of the story. Roasted. Boom. Mic drop. Piece of shit. Yeah.
Why would anybody do that?
Dude, I don't know. I mean, especially if you're supposed to be, like a pastor or a priest or whatever else, you're supposed to be there for your people, right? You're not supposed to make them feel bad. It's like you're in a wheelchair. You don't have enough faith.
It depends on which religion it is that you're supposed to feel bad or not.
Oh my God. There's like, what, 12,000, differences in Catholicism or something like that, right? And
that one just happened to focus on making you feel bad.
Yeah, exactly. Just picked a real shitty one. Don't go to that one. Why? They don't believe in God like we do. Anyway, so this does have a happy ending. So the girl who's wheelchair bound, apparently who doesn't believe enough in God, she finally got her baptism by having her avatar in VR chat be baptized by an actual Catholic pastor, Christian pastor, excuse me. I mean, I don't get the difference. Christian, Catholic, whatever. Either way, so I watched the video. I still think it's funny, but to think that there's actually pastors, priests, whatever leaders out there trying to reach people who otherwise couldn't be reached, or the people trying to help people who otherwise couldn't be helped. I don't know. I kind of like it. I kind of I'm actually glad to see that there's something that's being made good out of there. Again, whether what your beliefs are, I think it's actually pretty good, especially because, this person really wanted to get baptized and the other person was just a big bag of douche.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, like, if you go back like 20 years from now, if you went back around 20 years and you said like somebody was going to get baptized in VR chat accompanied by a raving rabbit, from Rayman, Winnie the Pooh and Tigger, and the person being baptized was in an anime, and in like an anime avatar costume. I'm pretty sure that somebody would say this is probably a bad turn, but I think over the years we got a little desensitized by these things, and it's for the better.
I definitely think so. I don't know. I like the whole entire Winnie the Pooh character.
They shot it from the pastor's perspective, and he's just looking down on a
God.
raving rabbit. And they're like, "Is there a dress code? Because we're all." He's like, "Nah, you're good. Don't worry about it."
It would be better if there was a Ugandan knuckle.
Oh my god.
He knows the way.
Right? Go
I
to
will
this guy.
show you
Yahweh.
the way.
Oh my god. Alright, so Alright, so Matt, any thoughts on that, man?
I mean, I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I
Future's
just
coming
think
out a
it's
little
just
too
the
strong there,
funniest-
bud.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. It's just like it's one of those things. Yeah, without getting like too into it, it's just I don't know. I don't think it. I think it's just weird, to be honest with you.
I agree.
I don't know if it can be considered valid, but
What is validity in
yeah, like
religion?
like a valid like usually you baptize or like that, you usually get a certificate that you're baptized or whatever. But how do you get baptized in VR chat when there's actually no cold water or anything like that? I don't know. It's weird.
But so if you think about it, right? So her avatar, who's an anime avatar, she got baptized, right? She actually was the one who took the plunge, as it were, right? But if you're thinking of it like more of like a holy thing, like in the a lot of people say you don't have to actually go to church to talk with God. God is everywhere, right? So then how would that not be valid if you actually have an actual pastor on the other end, doing the whole sermon?
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. It's still a little weird, not gonna lie.
It's definitely weird.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I mean,
I'm not arguing that.
the fact of the matter that a pastor decides that he wants to go to VR chat to perform baptisms.
I mean, in this specific
VR
case,
chat
especially.
is like the most sexualized thing. People are little anime girls. There's guys that are like little anime girls and whatnot, and they like got big tits and whatnot. Like, really? Like, weird. Why choose that?
I mean, it's all about the faith, right? And if he cares more about spreading the faith and goodwill of his religion, then it shouldn't matter where the thing takes place.
I know.
I think it's a valid point.
For me,
It's in good
it's
faith,
it's
literally.
Dude.
It's 100% weird, though. I agree with that.
No, without a doubt. We're none of us are
Now,
weird, but I think the concept is pretty.
now just to like close this one off, it's I can see this happening in the future, especially if they want to keep religion more, because like I don't know how to explain it, but religion's kind of dying off currently. So if you want to keep it a little bit more, updated, this would be a pretty good way.
mainstream.
Yeah, this also could be bad though, because it could start cults maybe potentially, but then we'll have like a Fight Club situation on our hand.
Well, it's all right. They'll all be on angry people typing to each other. Oh, woo! Okay, sorry. I don't know. I thought that was hilarious, and I was like, I like the idea. I like the concept. But you also think just to finish off of your point, like right? So the whole entire brick and mortar for a lot of storefronts is basically going away by the wayside, right? So more sites like Amazon and things like that, where people can just buy shit online, is more easily accessible, and it's kind of becoming more of the trend. I have no doubt in the next 10 years there's going to be so much more things going on in the internet. And like you said, this is just kind of one of the ways to keep religion relevant for people who can't or won't get out of their house. So if you can't go to the church, have the church come to you. I don't know. I like it.
Maybe they should regulate it a little bit more so that there's not, Winnie the Pooh sitting there watching you get baptized.
You're probably not
just to make it a little bit more, I don't. I mean, whatever, man.
Son, we're gonna go to Sunday Mass. Fucking puts on the VR Ocular Rift.
I mean, I could see that. You tell me right now, you don't see like 10 years in the future that they're gonna actually have a mass in VR.
Dude, no doubt. Yeah, I think that would be freaking dope. I'm still not going to attend like I do now, but I think
that's what dope. I mean. It's just like it'd be easier, and if you couldn't attend for travel reasons or whatever, you could still hang out with your buds.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Church buds.
And especially for those, who are like really religious and they're in the hospital, if being in that scene,
mm-hmm.
Puts them more at ease, why not? All the better. Yeah. I like it. Excuse me.
How long until we have a faith healer in VR?
Ooh, I don't know. Well, this guy's starting to do baptisms. I give it a year.
Really? A year faith healing? I'll make a faith healing map in VR right now.
Oh, yeah? All right, so in that case, 10 minutes.
I'll do it. I'll faith heal people. I just gotta get a VR, and how are you gonna get like kicked or slapped with the power of Jesus over VR?
My name is Priest Erock Schmidt. You cannot get rid of me. Am I gonna have to start calling you father now?
Yeah. Ryan already calls me daddy, so
that's very true. Okay. I can't do this anymore. This is hilarious. Okay, moving right along. So what was the next? Oh god, I can't even think straight anymore. I'm laughing so hard. What was the next thing we wanted to talk
about? Well, E3's coming up. So there's a lot of news floating around for that. There was a schedule I found online. I'll throw it. I don't know. Should I even bother throwing it in the podcast description, because I don't know. It's not official, but it's just like a good idea of what we're going to be seeing. So
I think it might be interesting if you can, for the listeners that we have out there, you can throw it out in the description. If not, we can just tell them where you found it.
Mm-hmm. I just don't want to spread misinformation because I haven't had a chance to actually check all these. But
we're gonna spread it to all like 10 viewers. To be honest with you, it's okay.
Wow, would it be the downer?
Wow, Reddit, wow, gee whiz.
If it's on Reddit and thousands upon thousands of people read it, if we're gonna spread it another 10 people, I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
You don't know. We can easily get a freaking landslide 11.
Exactly. So I mean, okay, no one's gonna come back to us and be like, "These assholes were wrong," even though this is not set in stone.
It's not about taking responsibility for being wrong. It's about spreading fake news.
Exactly.
Well, anyhow, so we're starting. There's a lot of action. I didn't think there was gonna be this much Nintendo stuff, but they're doing a Super Smash Bros. World Championship, Splatoon 2 World Championship. They're doing Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational, which was released. It was announced with the Treehouse or whatever, with the director that they had a couple days ago.
Oh, cool.
I think it was a day after we recorded last time. So we can hop into that too. Otherwise, though, we got obviously Xbox is going to be there. Square Enix, Kind of Funny Games is going to be there. AMD, Ubisoft, PC Gaming Show, Upload VR. EA is going to have a couple days there. Devolver Digital, which has a good showing. I think last year they had a really funny showing. Bethesda is going to be there. I don't know what they're going to do now when they might tease Elder Scrolls 6, but
online mode.
Online mode? I mean, they have Elder Scrolls Online.
I know, I'm just busting your chops. Co-op mode.
Are they going to try and do damage repair on Fallout 76, you guys say? That's going to be rough, because no one's going to believe them anymore. They lost Fallout all credibility.
77.
Nintendo's going to be there. I think June 8th they're doing a bunch of stuff. EA and Nintendo have something on June 8th. June 9th. When does it officially start? The 11th, right?
The official, I think.
Yeah,
so.
I think it's the 11th through 13th. So,
they have. I think EA Play is right before.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's EA, and then Nintendo's doing their showcase, their World Championship and Invitational. Otherwise, there's going to be Call of Duty, which we can talk about something with that later. Respawn Entertainment, who made Titanfall and what's it called? Apex Legends.
And they're also doing the Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's gonna be exciting. And then the show floor is after all that, the first day. Then Jablinski Games is actually gonna make an appearance there, which I'm sure everybody has seen his YouTube channel.
So just want to pause you right there, just to interject real quick, if you don't mind. What are your guys' opinions on Jack Black's gaming channel? Have you seen it?
I did.
Yes.
What do you guys think?
The breath of fresh air to the gaming community. Something different.
That's a bunch of horseshit, and you know.
No, I'm not.
He's a vlogger at heart.
He's a vlogger at heart, but I mean, think about it. He just has fun, and he does things that are with games. Yeah, he plays certain games at certain times. It doesn't necessarily have to be a video game, but he's playing, like, one of the second or third episode, he was playing pinball at a pinball place.
Yeah.
Then he went to another place and like played old ColecoVision games and retro games. It's different. It's not somebody online the same alley. Oh, yo guys, this is Fortnite. This is the new update, like, or Tfue or whatever, and all these assholes that are talking about Fortnite. Yeah, whatever.
Do you know Tfue is suing FaZe? I didn't read into it, but yeah, the whole bunch of drama
about that too.
But Jablinski Games, I watched his first couple ones, and then he had that super clickbaity one where he had the green screen behind him and in front of him, and it looked like he was playing Fortnite. That was funny.
Yeah.
I mean, his. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's funny. It's not like it's not going to be 35, 45 minutes of content. It's 5-10 minute content, and it's just funny. He puts out every week. Who cares? It's fun. And the fact of the matter that he's also been in a bunch of games.
Yeah, that's true.
Brutal Legend.
I love that game. I'm so pissed they're not coming out with games. What's that?
The Kung Fu Panda games.
I've only played the Kung Fu Panda games, all just at Dave and Buster's, where you had to hit those things.
He's in that game.
That's true.
That's technically a game. I remember I bought the first Kung Fu Panda game, or I rented it from Blockbuster so I could get the achievement.
Oh my god, you rented something from Blockbuster?
Yeah, what do you mean?
It's going back in the past, my man.
It was like 2013.
And and he even did the Kung Fu Panda game one time. He did it in Dave and Buster's. It was pretty.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah,
I don't know. I haven't. Sorry. Go ahead.
It was just funny. Saying.
I guess I didn't give him much of a fair shake. I've seen a couple of things from him. Like I don't know. So I saw him doing kind of going back to the past. It was like I think it was an arcade history museum or a pinball history museum or something like that. I think that was one of the first ones that he did about like a year ago. I watched that. Then there was something else I started watching. I kind of started falling asleep. I was also probably in a bad mood. So I don't know. All right. So based off of what you guys are saying, I'm going to have to give him another share.
He doesn't have the burden of needing the views. He's just enjoying himself, which is the refreshing part.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. I mean, I like Jack Black just fine. I think he's hilarious in about everything that he's done. So I don't know why I didn't really like him. All right, so I'm a jackass. I'll go take another watch. But do please continue.
Okay. There's something weird on here that I can't even see the full title on the schedule, but it says bringing your favorite shows to life, developing Netflix originals into video games. So that's interesting. I didn't even know that they were doing that. So there's going to be a Netflix panel. So I'm going to be excited to watch that. Then CD Projekt Red is the next day. What'd you say?
Are they going to come out
with the Netflix thing, and they're taking games like Stranger Things and making indie developers go into games. So like they have a Stranger Things game that's coming out for the Switch, and it's like a 3D. It's like an old 16-bit, 32-bit stylish game. Very interesting. It looks really cool.
That is super. I actually like the expanding from the art of video games into the art of, or the art of a show into an art of video gaming, and that could piggyback off something that AJ brought up earlier too. About the PlayStation or the Sony games that they were going to branch into making TV shows, right?
So we hadn't actually talked about that, but I'm glad that you are going to bring that up because I find that interesting.
So other than CD Projekt Red on the last day, there's a Justin Roiland's Trover Saves the Universe.
Yo, I can't wait for that game.
And Squanch Games, is that their developing company?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then after that, I think that's pretty much all that's been announced so far. Or that at least that's what's on their schedule. So all that seems super interesting. I can't wait to actually watch E3 and hear all the cool stuff that's going to be coming out soon.
Did you? So for PAX East,
going his boner for Rick and Morty boner.
Well, no, but so for PAX East, did you guys watch the panel of Squanch Games, like comedy and games?
No.
Did you watch that panel?
No.
Oh my god, dude, it was so hilarious because Justin Roiland was who headed that panel, so you had a bunch of people from different things. Like they got the guys from Cyanide and Happiness, that comic strip.
Oh, those guys are fucking hilarious. It's so dark.
Yeah. So they had those guys up there. They had the guy that did Octodad. They had some guys from Borderlands 3 creative directors and like all these other people for certain games that have a lot of comedy or dark comedy. And but just one part of it, he was showing that like a new trailer for Trover, and one part of it is just these two guys that are standing on the guard, and you could literally, he's like, this is my favorite part of this entire game. If you choose, you can blow right past them, and you only hear them say like one or two lines. But if you sit there and listen to them, they will carry on for like 2 hours. Like the fact of the matter that you made these two NPCs carry on for 2 fucking hours. That's insane. Like just in this one little part of this grand game. This one little part. Like how do you have the time to do it's just insane. Anyway, so to go back into where hey, you guys went off on a tangent about laughing about the guy baptizing. I can at least say about Trover. It's a video game.
You have the privilege and the honor to laugh at whatever you want, my man.
Dude, if you just light up like a Christmas tree, man.
If you listen to it, you'd be laughing your fucking ass off too.
I don't doubt it.
Guaranteed.
Definitely have to check that out.
Guaranteed, or your ass back.
Yeah, exactly.
So you took my ass, or
I mean, if I'm Sony off, I don't know.
So Sony launched a PlayStation production studio to adapt a majority of its video games into movies or TV shows. So it's kind of interesting. I could have sworn I heard in the rumbling that they already had like a Uncharted movie in production and also a Last of Us movie, but I could be wrong. This could definitely help out and make these movies / TV shows better. Like I kind of liked like Ratchet and Clank. I thought that was a kind of a cool movie.
It's all right.
It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't super great.
Didn't blow your pants off.
But exactly because
I was wearing shorts, sir.
But if I want a really expansive story, I'm going to play the campaign on that.
Mm-hmm.
I still have to play that. More that you can. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I bought the movie and the video game based off of the movie. I was like, I suck. I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. To your point, it's nothing anything that is earth shattering, but I think it's a lot better than a lot of the other video game movies that come out in a long time, except for recently, in my opinion, for Detective Pikachu. I think that they kind of fucking nailed it on that one.
Well, yeah. I mean, I never played the actual Detective Pikachu game because
it was terrible.
I heard it was fucking garbage. So But the movie itself, I thought it was a hilarious. Yeah, some of the acting wasn't great in it, but the storyline and everything in it. And did you know that the only person that had the original voice of the Pokemon was Pikachu's voice? So when he did the Pika Pika, that's
I guess
the original. That's the original actor that does that voice from Japan. Every other Pokemon had its own voice made for them. They didn't use a previous voice or anything like that.
I would assume because Pikachu is the most iconic Pokemon, like he's literally the face of Pokemon. So if anybody ever heard anything otherwise, there'd probably be just like, complete freaking, anarchy.
Yeah. But it's just like, it's interesting because, Cubone had a big, not a big part, but you hear him say Cubone a couple times. Bulbasaur was a bigger part in the movie. Like certain Pokemon you would expect to hear their actual cries and whatnot. They didn't do that. They just used Pikachu as obviously Pika Pika. Which is interesting. I heard that the other day and I was like, that's a really interesting thing.
I thought that was pretty cool.
So we can go on to the next one, which you guys wanted to talk about the PS5.
Well, actually, I think that, if we stick on Nintendo topic real quick, and then we can definitely talk about the PS5 because something that you were excited about while we're just on the topic of Nintendo would be Mario Maker.
Yes. They had a direct, I think it was last week.
Yeah, it was last week. I think it was the Wednesday of.
Yeah. And they had a 15-minute presentation of Mario Maker and all the different features that this one has compared to the other Mario Maker. Now, I never played the original Mario Maker, but it was one of those things that I wanted to. I just couldn't see myself spending $60 on a dead system.
I did it.
I know you did.
I love it.
But this game looks awesome because they have a bunch of online features that I'm like really looking forward to. But they have like a racing feature where it's just you and 3 other friends can be online in the same room, whatever, and you can race towards the end. There's a whole bunch of different things they have it 3D world, so that you can customize your own 3D version of a map or an Mario level. It's definitely cool. Like, this is a game that I would totally spend $60.
Mm-hmm.
New Super Mario Brothers Deluxe or whatever it was when it came out. Was it last year or something like that?
Last year, yeah.
That was not worth $60 because that was a remake of. Come on, this absolutely, because there's endless fun with this, and they're also going to have like tournaments and stuff for making different stages and whatnot, which I just think is really cool. Pretty much endless possibility.
They when they added the what was it, the kitten or the kitty thing, right? The
from
the cat.
3D World,
Yeah, that was cool.
The Cat Mario.
The 2.5D.
Like that?
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know. I don't like it.
I don't like the I don't know if this is unpopular or not, but I don't like the new Super Mario, like that music scheme. I don't like that. It's like the orchestral like poppy jazz bands. Yeah, I don't like that. I think it's like gross, the music.
I'm not a big fan of it either.
That kind of actually turned me off to those. I just didn't want to play those new games because of the sounds, the music.
Yeah, I never played. I think the last one I played, the first Super Mario Brothers for the DS, the first one that ever came out. After that, I just stopped playing. Like, they looked fun, but I was like, whatever. I don't really feel like playing it.
It's not stimulating to me anymore, especially with all like, all these other games out.
The first one is fun, right? But then it's just they kept on doing the same thing over and over and over again. It kind of got really repetitive. So the first one was fun. I played it on the DS. I didn't pick it up for the Wii because it was literally the same thing. Then they ported it onto Wii U. Then they ported it onto the Switch, and I'm an idiot and I bought that too. Don't judge me. But it's literally the same thing over again. But I like the one on Switch because they changed up the stages for the most part. It's still literally the same freaking thing with the same goofy music in the background. Dude, give me the Super Mario Brothers theme song the whole entire time. I got no problem with that whatsoever. But
or anything from like Super Mario World.
Oh yeah, because at least that was different tunes. It looks a little better. Not really. I don't know. I guess they're just really just going more for the joyful thing, whatever. It's like I don't know why are my enemies dancing? It's like when I'm trying to smash their heads. It's not how it works.
It's fun.
I'm about to jump on your skull. I don't know. I really quite enjoyed the first game of Mario Maker, but it kind of got because there weren't really too many people to play with. So after a while, it was just me and Ryan, and then just me. And then I was like, all right, well, if I'm not gonna be able to play with anyone, what the hell's even the point? So kind of stopped playing on there. But creating your own levels was really cool. Challenging everybody else's, playing on their levels. It's really interesting to see what people can come up with, given actual free from Nintendo. It's kind of like the legalization of weed. You just wait. I'm allowed to do this now. I don't have to go through. This is awesome. I love it. Also, the car. I like the car.
Yes, the car. Honk.
Yes.
I'm definitely not into making the maps and stuff because it's just so much there. I just can't handle it. But the people that do enjoy making the maps, that's going to be such a breath of fresh air for them, especially if they didn't have a Wii U.
Oh yeah. It was a little bit easier though because you had the gamepad. So
yeah,
I like
the. You're right. I mean, there's a touchscreen on the Switch too.
In order to make it easier though, you have no choice but to play it in handheld. I like the fact that when you had the Wii U, you had the gamepad in your hand and you had the design on the gamepad, and then you can see what's going on the screen at the same time. I would say that's the only advantage, literally the only advantage that I would say that it would have over the Switch. But other than that, I'm fairly certain I'll get over it.
You don't know if that's the only way they're gonna have it. Like maybe they'll release something in the future where you can have it in handheld mode, but also have it projecting on the screen.
You're right. You could be right. But until then. Until we find out exactly what goes on, I am not wrong. Neither am I right, but I'm not wrong.
Never wrong.
But yes, I mean, so Matt and I just kind of splooged a little bit over Mario Maker 2. What are your thoughts, Eric?
Like I said, I didn't really like the scheme of it, the music and how it looked, and it's just like I might as well play the older ones if I'm just gonna play something identical to it. It's like the coins don't matter, but they're there. The difficulty comes in the platforming, not really, and it's either super difficult where it's really hard to actually get through, or it's just so easy to get through that it's just a breeze. I don't know. I'm not really into it, but I might give this one a try, especially if we can play together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I did like watching people play it online though, on YouTube. It's gonna be good YouTube bait.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Because that was good for almost a year, and then it started dying down on YouTube. But yeah, no, the whole multiplayer thing, that's going to be dope.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see where it goes.
Awesome stuff. So, what we were talking about beforehand, we were talking about PS, I did want to kind of go back to just the Sony PlayStation productions real quick, because I actually find that this is going to be pretty cool. So, like what Matt was saying, he heard that there's an Uncharted and The Last of Us in the making, which I think if they get the proper casting and the proper direction and actual good script writers, that those two games would be amazing. They should take off, like awesomely. And if you'd have to freaking crush it with God of War if they're gonna something for that. So I think that actually that could be interesting. I'm very interested to see where the the Sony productions or PlayStation productions would actually fall. But to go to PS5, like Matt was saying as well, there's some other information about the PlayStation 5 that Eric was actually kind of bringing up, and it's really interesting because lag or loading times rather might be a thing of the past. Eric, can you please elaborate?
So there was a video release of the I guess it's technically not the PS5 yet, but it's just the next gen console that they're trying to release.
It's development kit.
Yeah, it's the development kit for it. But it showed they used Amazing Spider-Man, not Amazing Spider-Man, Jesus. They're using the Spider-Man game on PS4, and they showed the load times of the PS4 Pro versus the next gen model that they're scheming up right now, the development kit. And what took the PS4 Pro to load, I think it took 8 seconds, like 8.10 seconds. It took 8.10 seconds for the PS4 Pro, while the PS5 or the development kit for it took under a second to load. And based on where the screens were displayed, it looked like the PS5 loaded it in 4K because the screen was a little bit bigger. I don't know, either it was to pronounce, like this is the next gen one versus the older one, or that one loaded in 4K in under a second, and the smaller one, the PS4 Pro, loaded in about 8 seconds. So they also did a run through of the city where it just like snaked the camera through to see how the loading times were for the things in the foreground, or in the background rather. And the PS4 Pro had to chug just to get through because it wasn't loading in the amount of time the camera was moving. And the PS5 development kit just like breezed right through. So with these either are going to be the peak of consoles, or they're going to have some sort of cloud-based, I don't even know, but the loading times are just insanely smooth and fast. So this is going to be exciting.
Matt, thoughts?
I'll save my reservations when Xbox comes out with theirs, and we could definitely compare the two, because I mean, if you're basing off of a development kit that has it as a cloud-based service, when you don't know anything, they might just have it as a cloud-based service. You don't know that. You don't know unless you actually have it in hand and they can show it actually compared next to each other. Like, I don't know. I have a hard time believing it in a video like that, because it's just, yeah, it might look really quick, but you could see sometimes it might be sped up. Or it could be just like a cloud service where there's no lag on your end of your PlayStation, and it pop right up. Who knows? Like I said, I'll reserve my thing, because we keep hearing stuff about the P5 and nothing about the next Xbox system. So I'll wait until I hear about that. Once I hear about those, then I'll figure that out. We could talk about that more in depth.
Well, I think that Xbox might be just kind of like, playing it cold, like holding the cards close to their chest, because they've, thank God, actually gotten smarter since the release of Xbox One, where they were trying to go completely corporate on our asses. So they're actually trying to, get back into the favor of gamers and trying to make everything as, actually towards gamers, I think, anyways. Because I personally think that they killed it last year's E3 with all the indie games, indie developers that they're taking underneath their wing. So I think that, at least in my eyes and in my opinion, that kind of won them back over, in my opinion. I've always been, I've always preferred Xbox over PlayStation, unfortunately, since the 360, because I couldn't afford a PlayStation 3. So being I couldn't afford a PlayStation 3, I bought a 360. I bought my 360. Had it ever since. Loved it. Went to the Xbox One. Bought my PlayStation 4 just because a couple of other friends had it. I like my PS4 just fine, but my system of choice absolutely is always my Xbox. Then second's my Switch, and third's my PlayStation. So PlayStation, as impressive as the video was, I'm actually gonna have to agree with Matt. So we've been lied to before with a lot of video game companies saying this is the next best thing or whatever else, and then when you get the whole the actual product in your hand, it's a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, not what they had actually shown it or marketed it to originally be. So I'm agreeing with Matt. I want to see what Xbox has in store.
That's fair. They didn't really. I don't know if they released any specs actually. I know the video was taken in a dark room, so I'm sure that person either had to sign an NDA and just broke it, but typically it's taken down by now, so maybe they actually wanted people to see. But we're gonna definitely know more by the end of E3, because this is when all the big announcements come out.
I mean, I think Sony is going to probably announce it beforehand, because obviously they're not going to be a part of E3 this year.
Oh yeah, that's
they're
right.
They're gonna announce it the first week, like the week before. Same thing with like Nintendo is going to do the same. Like, I feel like Nintendo is going to have a direct right before, like a week or two before E3, and they're going to announce all of these games that are coming out this year. Like, Animal Crossing is probably going to come out they're going to probably also announce the new Switches, like a Switch Mini, or something like that. They said they have no. The president of Nintendo also said that they don't have any plans of announcing anything at E3. So that kind of leads me to believe that it's going to also be, they're going to be showing more information about, probably, most likely, Luigi's Mansion 3. They're going to be showing more information, probably also about Pokemon Sword and Shield. Maybe because those are coming out in November. So they're going to be showing more information probably a week before and Xbox is going to keep to their guns, and they're going to stick there, and they're going to do their whole thing like they normally do at E3, which I'm fine with. But I still believe this, and most people could probably argue with. I don't think Xbox really gives a shit about selling consoles right now.
That's it. I'm gonna fight you.
No. Hold on. Hold the phone here. I agree with Matt.
I think the fact of the matter is Xbox. I mean, if you look at Microsoft, what is Microsoft? How did they become so prevalent in this industry? Microsoft became prevalent because they sold software. They're going to be a software company forever. They've never been about hardware. Yeah, they have the Xbox. Yeah, they have this, but they have software. I mean, I have a Microsoft Surface. AJ, you have what, a Dell or an HP computer?
I bought a new HP. Yeah.
You have a new HP. Eric, what type of computer do you have?
I have a custom built one, but it runs on Windows.
But every single one of them runs on Windows right now.
You bet your bippy.
If you have a PC, it runs on Windows.
Or Linux or Unix or whatever.
But majority of them is always on.
The percentage Microsoft. Of it, almost blows everything else out of the water.
That's where I think we're gonna find out a lot more about the partnership between Xbox and Nintendo. I think also during E3, because those are the only two companies that are technically still involved at E3. We're gonna find out so much more because of. And if they do announce anything like Sony does announce anything this year, they're going to announce a new system that's coming out next year or in 2 years. And the fact of the matter is that Last of Us Part 2, Death Stranding, and what's the other big one that they have? I feel like there's another one.
I don't know. I'm just more
Drawing a
concerned
blank.
about Death Stranding.
But anyway, those two are going to be console exclusive for that system, obviously. But they're going to also be launch titles for the new PS5. They won't be on the PS. And
You don't think they're going to have them on both?
Nope.
Whoa.
I think they're going to be console exclusive. I think they're going to be PS5 exclusive.
Yikes.
It would make sense. It's going to be a console seller.
I mean, what's not to do? Like, I mean, the fact of the matter that, like, they didn't announce. They showed trailers for them both last year. Didn't show release dates. They just finished wrapping on the actual capturing of Last of Us 2. So the game probably will come out either this, like, I would be surprised if it comes out this year or early next year, quarter 1 or 2 of next year.
The console?
But I think like Last of Us.
Oh, okay.
Part 2.
I thought, okay.
Because I'm sorry, I didn't clarify.
No,
Last
you're
of Us Part 2 just wrapped motion capture recently. So I'm definitely thinking if they just wrap that, they still have to do a lot of the actual gameplay features. So I'm assuming that it's going to be next year, probably E3-ish, around that time, holiday time, that they're going to release it, and then it's going to release on the PS5. And that's what's going to happen. And what's going to suck for everybody that wants to play these games, they're going to have to shell out the $600 because it's going to be $600. Allegedly. Or more.
I think it's going to be a solid $459.
Nah,
Yeah, for $459, I'll buy it.
I
$1 more.
I still think that new system is going to be. I still firmly believe it's going to be $599.99.
Do you really think people are going to shell out $600 for a system?
Not sure shit.
For
a console?
PS fanboys, absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
people
but
would do.
they're trying to get new skin in the game. That's just how this goes. Like, Nintendo wasn't trying to keep their audience; they were trying to get a whole new audience. That's why they're doing so well right now.
So Sony wants to just keep their fanboys all together to them, and because they're just trying. That's what they're trying. But I don't know. Those are my things. Like I can't get behind it because I know that's what's gonna happen.
So much money.
Oh yeah. And the best part is then you have Xbox. They're gonna release a powerful new Xbox One X or the next version of it, and they're also going to release a smaller version that's a stream based one, and they're gonna make a killing on that.
No doubt, they're gonna sell like a $50 or $60 device that just straight up streams to your house, your TV.
Exactly, and you don't have to pay you just have to pay for a service, kind of like what you already do with the Game Pass. But instead of downloading all the games, it's literally already loaded. All you have to do is just, okay, your save files are on this little device, and bang, there you go. You're playing at 60 frames per second at 4K resolution all day long. You can play it with no lag, nothing.
I am almost 100% certain that this is going to go out and there's going to be tons of problems at first. But I say give it a year and a half, and it'll probably be all fixed up.
I think they're going to be problems, but I mean, this is a good segue into the Microsoft and Sony are actually working together to base off of a cloud-based streaming services. They're working together. They just recently announced, the head of Microsoft and the head of Sony, they said they're going to work on this. Superconductors and AI, I think they said. Because Sony is very good at the superconductors, so Microsoft's like, hey, let's work together. And yeah, they're going to do new cloud-based solutions for gaming experience and AI solutions. So it's pretty interesting that they actually decided, hey, finally, let's work together on something. And it's very interesting that they also are saying that it's a cloud-based solutions because they want to destroy Google, because that's their only other
Google is the enemy.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. When it comes to the to the consoles, absolutely. I mean, I don't know. At this point in time, what can Google really bring to the table that PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo really haven't?
They can bring to the table the Stratos, which is probably just going to be a controller, or maybe like a little thing, kind of like an Amazon Fire TV, which is just a little brick that sits on the side of your TV, and all they do is stream all the games through that. You pay a $10 service per month, and you have unlimited games. Play them whenever you want. Your save files are saved locally or on the cloud, and yeah, have fun. And you can actually play these games. Maybe not at 60 frames per second. Maybe you could play them at 90 because they're based off a computer. You're just using a Google device. When you go on the internet, what do you use? You use Google. You don't use Bing because Bing sucks.
Okay, hold on.
I mean, I don't know. He's got a point there, but
Is this coming from the guy that uses Edge still?
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I totally use Edge. I don't use.
Guess what it defaults to when you search something up?
Yeah, it goes to Bing, but I set that as Google.
I don't know. I mean, I think that I'm too much of a fanboy. I'm gonna stick with my console, but I still think it's interesting that PlayStation and Microsoft are going to team up rather than PlayStation, sticking their hooves in the ground and not wanted to really work with anybody other than just their people. I'm kind of interested to see if they're actually going to bring Nintendo in the loop too.
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft already has a partnership with Nintendo. It's only a matter of time before they do that. But it's just, I could see Nintendo helping Sony and Microsoft out with their VR stuff. They have an idea with a very good motion controls. I could totally see it.
It would definitely have to be mutually beneficial for all of them.
Absolutely.
It could be that Microsoft puts in the software or something like that, and Sony just comes up with the hardware. That sounds
the cloud,
good.
the VR, and the games, I guess. Mario, the titles.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm interested.
I mean,
I can't wait to see the three giants kind of get together and see what good they can do with just combining all their powers and becoming a giant Power Ranger.
Yeah, it's honestly it's the same thing kind of like in the auto industry. What are the three big companies that you could think of that are American?
Ford, Dodge, Chevy.
Okay. Did you know that they all work on one thing and they actually all use one same?
You bite your tongue.
No, they do. They worked on a 12-speed transmission that they all actually put a hand, and been working on it for the last couple of years.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's companies trying to help out other companies that is mutual beneficial for everybody. It does work sometimes. So it's just interesting. Finally now Sony, all right, we're willing to work with people. Let's do this. That's
true. Hey man, but sometimes you gotta, sometimes you just wake up out of your slumber. But and that's a good one. Thank you guys. So
you're welcome.
With that in mind, everybody, what are your thoughts about everything that we talked about today? Xbox, PlayStation teaming up, Nintendo. Hopefully, we'll have the holy trinity of team ups. Speaking of holy, what do you guys think about getting baptized on? Pretty cool stuff. So, final thoughts. You guys want to add anything else to this giant piece of loveliness?
E3 is going to be cool.
It's going to be smaller than most years. I think it will benefit the companies that are actually going to be there.
Perfect.
I think unlike Sony, because Sony pulled out and was like, "Oh, we don't want to deal with this shit anymore. Let's just make our own thing." Kind of like what Microsoft did. They're not in the E3 hall, but they are across in their own hall. But they're still part of E3. So I don't know. Hopefully, we'll see some nice announcements. Hopefully, we get more information on Halo. I'm definitely down for that. Those are my final thoughts.
Always down for Halo. I love Halo. So I'm excited for, like I said, just the team up of Epic Proportions. Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox getting together. Hopefully, making some really good stuff. And I'm also excited for the PlayStation productions. Even though I'm not really too much of, like I said, I'm more of an Xbox guy, but PlayStation, I do love their specific games. Exclusives. Thank you. That's exactly what I was looking for. So I think that'll be interesting. But guys, thank you so much for sticking with us for so long. Always appreciate your guys' company. Again, let us know what you guys think about what we went over down in the comments below. As always, I'm AJ.
Eric.
And I'm Matt.
And
What?
Huh?
You cut out.
You cut out again.
Fuck.
And we'll catch you guys in the next
Bye.
Dude. That's quality fucking microphone right there. I hate this thing.
Okay, bye for real.
Okay, bye.